Hi guys, it's Jenny. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome to day 8 of 12 Days of Christmas Conspiracies. So in today's video I'm going to be sharing with you some Polar Express conspiracy theories. So I just wanted to give credit to Mandy V here on YouTube. She also did a video on some Polar Express conspiracies, and so I just wanted to give credit to her, and also to the Reddit user Movie Theorist. I will link his theory down below, but that's kind of where I got like the idea to do this video, because I came across his theory. So the Polar Express truly is like a classic Christmas film. If you've never seen it before, it's basically the story of a young hero boy on Christmas Eve who boards on a magical train called the Polar Express, which is headed to the North Pole to meet Santa. So it follows hero boy, who is a skeptic of Santa, of his like existence, and whilst he's on the train he embarks on a journey of self-discovery, which shows him that the wonder of life never fades for those who believe. So that's kind of like a brief summary of what the Polar Express is about. I'm not gonna lie to you, Polar Express is probably my least favourite Christmas film out there. I've only seen it like less than a handful of times because it creeps me out, honestly. I think the way that the people are like animated in that film is just so creepy. So as a child I didn't really enjoy watching it. I also found it like really boring and quite weird. Like I didn't really understand what was happening. Like it was just weird. Like some of the scenes were just so weird. So yeah, I haven't seen it in a good few years. I cannot even remember the last time that I watched this film. Probably should have watched it before filming this video, but I read kind of loads of stuff about it, so I kind of remember what happens in the film now. But basically the first conspiracy theory I wanted to talk about, which was thought of by Movie Theorist on Reddit, is that the hobo who lives like on top of the train is actually the ghost of Hero Boy if he never got to meet Santa Claus. Okay, so I don't know if you guys know this, but Tom Hanks actually, I think, directed this film, or like helped produce it, I'm not sure, but he voices 6 characters in the film. So he voices Hero Boy, Hero Boy's father, the conductor, the hobo, Scrooge, and Santa Claus. So people believe that because Tom Hanks voiced all these characters, that they're all kind of connected, because the budget for Polar Express was around $165 million. And the average movie budget in 2004, which was when this was made, was around $123 million. So they had a lot of like excess money to use, which meant they could have very easily got different actors to play each character if they wanted to, because they could very easily afford it. However, they didn't. They stuck with Tom Hanks to voice all 6 of these characters. So people believe that there's a reason they did this, and it's because they're all connected. So the hobo character is the man that sits on top of the train, and he's very skeptical of Santa. He doesn't believe in Santa's existence at all. He just sits on top of the train drinking coffee all the time, and when Hero Boy meets him and talks with him, he actually calls himself the King of the North Pole. He also makes fun of Santa a lot, proving that he's very skeptical of Santa's existence. Yet for some reason he does everything in his power to make sure that Hero Boy meets Santa Claus. So people kind of wonder why a skeptic would do everything he can to make sure this young boy meets Santa, because if he doesn't believe Santa exists, why would he care about Hero Boy meeting Santa? And people believe this is because the hobo is grown-up version of Hero Boy if Hero Boy never actually got to meet Santa. So the hobo doesn't want Hero Boy, like his younger self, to turn out like this, so he does everything he can to make sure that Hero Boy meets Santa so he doesn't end up like this. So people think that if Hero Boy never got to go on the train, never got to get a ticket on the train, then he would have ended up this hobo man who lives on top of the train because he's actually unable to get a ticket, because it's only children who can get the golden tickets for the Polar Express. So that's why he lives on top of the train, because he's unable to get into it to meet Santa. And we kind of get the idea that he's a ghost because when the train hits Flat Top Mountain, he actually turns into snow, which shows that he isn't real. So we kind of get the sense that he's a ghost. And he also asks Hero Boy at one point whether he believes in ghosts, and Hero Boy shakes his head no, and he replies, interesting. So the Hobo and Hero Boy also look very similar. If you look at them side by side, they look very similar, and the Hobo could easily be Hero Boy all grown up. So that's kind of like the first theory, is that the Hobo is Hero Boy grown up. If he wasn't able to meet Santa, he becomes this skeptical, bitter old man who lives on top of the train because he can't get into the train to meet Santa. So linking onto that theory, people also believe that the conductor of the train represents Hero Boy as an adult after riding the train and after meeting Santa Claus. So the conductor is determined to make sure that every child on that train meets Santa. He also looks a lot like adult Hero Boy as well, and acts a lot like him. He is strict but also very kind and looks out for Hero Boy throughout the film. And he makes sure that Hero Boy sees and believes in Santa by the end of the trip. He even stamps believe onto Hero Boy's golden ticket. So like in the film, each child that rides the train has a golden ticket, and the conductor goes around stamping holes in it to create a letter each time he goes round, and at the end of the film these letters all form a word, and each child has like a different word on it. So Hero Girl by the end of the film has lead punched into her ticket, showing that she's kind of like the leader. So the word represents what they have learned throughout the trip. So Hero Boy has believe punched into his golden ticket. The conductor also shares a story about how years ago an unknown ghostly figure saves him from falling, which is the very same thing that happens to Hero Boy that night, but this time it's the Hobo saves him from falling, which is of course a ghost. So that is like the first theory, and I find that one very interesting and very easy to believe. I think that one's probably pretty true. So the last theory is about how the whole event, like the whole train ride, was actually a dream. So when Hero Boy goes to sleep at the start of the film, we can very clearly hear a clock ticking in the background. However, after he drifts off to sleep and then wakes up again to go and find the train, we can no longer hear that clock ticking. But at the end of the film, when he's woken up by his younger sister on Christmas morning, we can hear the clock ticking again. So this kind of makes it seem like that whole train journey was just a dream. Also, another reason why it could be just a dream is because when Hero Boy wakes up to go on the train, he's rushing around in his room and grabs his robe, and as he grabs his robe he actually rips a hole in his pocket and marbles fall out on the floor, and it's very clear that this hole is in his pocket throughout the whole film, especially his time on the train, because it causes like a load of issues. So it's very clear that he has this hole in his pocket. However, when he is awoken by his sister on Christmas morning, he grabs his robe and the same thing happens. He pulls it off and rips a hole in his pocket, and again marbles fall out on the floor, but the hole is in the exact same spot as the original hole at the start of the film. So I don't know, I think that kind of shows it was a dream, because how can you rip a hole twice in the same exact spot? Like, that just makes no sense. So yeah, I'm leaning towards it being a dream, I think. But yeah, that is actually all the conspiracy theories I found for Polar Express. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found it interesting. Give it a thumbs up if you did, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel down below, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys!